Last month, one of the Instagram video, it went viral and it caught my attention as well. For people who are connected with me on Instagram, you have already seen that I shared that video on my story. If you're not, let's play that video so that you can see what I'm talking about.
Just got sponsored by my company and I've secured a 5-year skilled worker visa in the UK. So if you're an international student like I was, watch this video till the end because I will be sharing some of my secrets. My name is Arkajit, I'm from India and I came to the UK in 2022 to do my masters in cybersecurity. In total, I gave 11 job interviews and received 4 offers in a span of 6 months. So here's some of the things I learned about the job market. Number 1, no one cared about the degree I had. It's a great way to come to this country, but it's not enough to get you a job. No one in those 11 interviews asked me about my master's degree. Everyone cared about my work experience, the skills I've got, and how can I add value to the organization. Number 2, your communication skills are more important than anything else. If you can't explain in detail why they should hire you during an interview, you will not get hired. I think being able to speak and write English really well really helped me get those interviews. Number 3, my LinkedIn profile helped me get all of those interviews. So if you're a job seeker in the UK, please have a complete LinkedIn profile. Number 4, your CV is super important. If your CV is not in the right format, ATS will not be able to read it properly and it will automatically reject you. I've spent months on my resume before I started getting interview calls.
So I'm happy to say that he's my guest today and he'll be sharing his journey as a student in the UK and how he managed to get visa sponsorship. If you guys are interested in this topic, make sure you keep watching the video till the end. But before that, a quick introduction about myself. My name is Sarika and welcome to Your Knowledge Buddy. For students who want to study abroad in any of this listed country, my team can help you free of cost. If you want to study your bachelor's, master's or PhD, make sure you fill the form which is provided in my video description so that my team can help you. Now, without any further delay, let me invite Arkajit. Hi Arkajit, welcome to Your Knowledge Buddy. If you don't mind, can you please introduce yourself to my audience, please?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Arkajit. I am from India. Actually, I'm from West Bengal, but from the last 6 years, I lived in Bengaluru. So my parents lived there. And last time I went to Bengaluru. So I'm from Bengaluru at the moment.
And what do you do in the UK?
Yeah, so I moved to the UK in 2022 to do my master's in cybersecurity. And just a couple of months back, I received my 5-year skilled worker visa. And yeah, here I am. So it has been a very good journey.
So first of all, congratulations. You are very few people who manage to get visa sponsorship because I know it's not easy at all. And given that there are massive changes which just happened now, the market is going to be more tough for people or for students who require a visa sponsorship. Now, first of all, because you know how I found you through that viral reel on Instagram, yeah? I was so impressed about the content you have put there. So I want to pick your expertise. You are already in the job market. First of all, tell me, why did you choose UK as compared to any other country?
Well, that's a great question. You know, when I was researching, I had first Germany in mind. I even learned A1 and A2 level of German before, trying my applying for Germany. But unfortunately, I couldn't get it because I was applying for English taught course and it was very highly competitive. But then I was working at McAfee in Bengaluru as an IT engineer, and then I thought I need to move outside. While researching, I found out that UK was providing 1 year's masters. For me, I just wanted to get into the job market and I didn't want to waste 2-3 years doing a degree because for me, degree was not that valued because I could learn whatever I could learn online. So, but I wanted to get into the job market. So I started researching about universities, and I was already in IT and I was extremely passionate about cybersecurity. So I did some research and I also wanted to, spend as little as possible. Didn't want to take any education loan for my masters. So all of these criteria I had in mind, and then I chose university. I chose Birmingham City University. I think I had only a couple of few options because I had limited funds. So I chose Birmingham City University. I came and I did my degree here. After a couple of years, here I am now. Just recently got my skilled worker visa here.
Congratulations. So first of all, you said you do have some experience working in India. How many years of experience and what role did you do in India?
Yeah, exactly. So I had 2 years of experience back in India. I worked for McAfee as an IT support specialist for the first not 2 years, I had 3 years of experience. Yeah. So first 2 years I had experience as an IT support specialist, but then I was promoted to become a major incident manager. That's what I did for 1 year before moving to the UK.
And then you studied here cybersecurity.
That's right.
And the job that you got, now you are working as a cybersecurity, right?
No, I am not working in the cybersecurity domain. I'm working as a senior IT analyst.
Uh,
So it's not related to security, but we do handle security a little bit, but it's mostly infrastructure management.
so do you think studying cybersecurity kind of helped you land a job here or not?
That's a debatable question. Not a lot. So basically, what helped me a lot getting this job was my communication skills, so my technical skills. I have done a certification back in India. It's called Cisco CCNA for my networking. That really helped me. Degree, not really that much because cybersecurity, when you there is a problem with cybersecurity jobs in the UK. What happens is a lot of companies ask for experienced candidates. Even if you have got some experience, there's another barrier that's called SC clearance, which we can't get as an international student. Person has to have 5 years of residency to be able to get a SC clearance. That's quite a lot of problems when you apply for cybersecurity jobs. That's the reason I couldn't get a cybersecurity jobs. And coming back to your question, what helped me was my communication skills. Mostly, it's my ability to analyze each and every step of my application process, how I wrote my resume, how I continuously improved the shortfalls in my resume. At the same time, applying to perfect positions that are perfect fit for me, for my experience, based on my skill set, and also my certifications. So those are the three most important things.
So can we talk about it then? Because you said you had managed to fix your CV, wherever you thought there was a problem. How did you know there was a problem in CV? Because most of the students, first of all, in the UK, that the CVs that I review, they don't know how to write their CV. And secondly, if they don't know how to write their CV, they cannot even fix their CV. So how did you identify it and how did you fix it?
Yeah, that's a great question. One of the things that I've seen people make that mistake is they do very less research. If you actually sit and do a lot of research, you watch a lot of YouTube videos, listen to experts talking about how to make CVs, you would go really ahead of others. So that's what I did in the beginning. So, watching a lot of videos, a lot of Instagram reels who make videos about, career in the UK. Your videos, I saw a lot of your videos as well. When I did research about what these people were talking about, at the same time I was applying to jobs, right? So if I'm not getting any interviews, then I sat and I'm like, okay, something I'm doing wrong. If I'm not getting any interviews, then something is wrong. So I did a lot of tweakings. Each and every day I would sit with my CV and see, okay, what can I improve here? What can I do better? The bullet points, let's make it better, shorter. Let's make it look even better so that I also thought from the recruiter's perspective, if I hand my resume over to the recruiter, would that person be able to read my CV easily? If not, then what can I improve? So these are the things I always thought about. So once I started getting interview calls, then I knew that, okay, something I did right somewhere. So my CV is working. If I've got an interview call, that means I am a little bit, they have called me for a reason, right? The CV is working now. So next step is cracking the interview. So what could I do better? So it's like analyze every single day. What are you doing?
Did you take help of any tool to fix your CV? For example, we all are talking about ATS friendly CV. Did you use any tool?
I really did not care that much about ATS. What I was more focused on was the format. I think those are the things that's important, like the right format, if you're picking the right keywords from the job description and putting it in your resume. And yes, I did use a website that's called resume.io for my CV. It's easier because you don't have to do the formatting. I use the software. It's a paid software, but makes your life a lot easier because you just put the details and it formats it for you. You don't have to worry about the formatting. A lot of times people try to save money and they do the Word document formatting, but when they send it, it completely jumbles up. And they don't realize, but it's a big disaster.
Thank you for mentioning that, and I hope students are making notes about it. Tell me about the job sites that you use to apply for the jobs.
Well, I only use LinkedIn. That's all I did. Because what's happening was a lot of people were suggesting a lot of different sites, and it was getting overwhelming for me to go around different sites, look for jobs, apply for them, because LinkedIn only had a lot of job options. It's very difficult to deal with one site, and then people talk about multiple sites. I did not use multiple sites. It was primarily on LinkedIn, sometimes on Indeed. But it was mostly on LinkedIn. I made sure, my LinkedIn profile was as good as possible because I've got a lot of interviews through recruiter invites that came directly through recruiters. And that's because I optimized it. I spent a lot of time, like my resume, spent a lot of time on my LinkedIn. So that really helped.
So when you applied for the job through LinkedIn, did you look for the word visa sponsorship, or did you just apply blindly to all the jobs which you think you are suitable?
Well, in the beginning, when I was applying in the beginning, I was not really bothered about visa sponsorship because I just wanted to get a job in my domain because that's more important. I've seen a couple of my friends, what they did was their strategy was to get a job first in their domain. It doesn't matter if they could get sponsorship because once you get experience, it gets easier. If they don't provide sponsorship, you can move on to a different employer. So that's what I did in the beginning. I just wanted to get a job in my domain. But fortunately, the company I joined, my university, they had a license and they were pretty big. So sponsorship was never an issue once I was eligible. But I never looked for specifically sponsored employers.
But you were aware that not all the companies in the UK can
Yeah.
sponsor you, yeah? You already knew that only licensed company can sponsor you.
Yeah, I was totally aware because what happened was in my case, I just got this. I joined as a graduate technician. I joined as a graduate technician, and after that, I was not eligible for visa sponsorship when I was a graduate technician. I got a promotion, and then I was eligible, and then I reached out to HR and I got the sponsorship. So in my case, I didn't have to switch employers, and they had license, fortunately. But when I was applying, I was making sure they at least had a license because without a license, there is no chance that they can sponsor.
How many rejections did you face before you landed this job for yourself?
Oh, so many rejections. I have not counted how many, but it would be more than 100, 150 rejections because I also did not apply to thousands of jobs. That's not what my strategy was. I don't think it works if you apply to 1,000 jobs and you're not getting any interview or any positive response. That means something is completely wrong with your process. Quality was more important to me than quantity. So I applied 150, 200 jobs and I was rejected.
Was there any feedback given to you when you were rejected for all the previous jobs?
Well, sometimes they used to give me feedback, and most of the times they didn't. You would I just got generic emails that companies send when they reject candidates, right? But not very helpful at all.
So now, given that you were rejected so many times and finally you landed your visa sponsorship job, what did you learn and what advice do you have for my audience?
Oh, that's a great question. There are lots of things I learned, and there's so many suggestions I can give to people. What I was telling just a few minutes back, quality is much more important than quantity. I've seen people writing on LinkedIn that they've applied to thousands of jobs and they've got no response. Then something is wrong, right? If you're applying to thousands of jobs and there is no positive feedback, or you're not getting any interview calls, then there's something's wrong in your entire process. Because I got a lot of good response. I've given 11 interviews, and even though I got rejected in first, second, or sometimes fifth round, that's totally fine. So when you apply, you have to be very, very careful how you're applying, that your application is really nice. That's one of the points. Also, I would say spend a lot of time on, in your CV before you apply. When you study, when you're actually doing your degree, focus on your CV, spend time during that. Don't just leave everything, wait for your degree to finish to start applying or building your CV. Work on it when your degree is going on because that'll really help you. I'd also say in terms of when you should start applying, I started applying to jobs 2 months before my degree ends. Degree was supposed to end. That was a good timeline, but it's better if you start even early. It's not like you would get the job. It's important that how the response is coming, right? If you're getting interview calls, a lot of interview calls, and then getting rejected because you're still studying, that's totally fine. You can see that something you're doing is right. If you wait for your degree to finish and then start applying, then you would end up wasting 3-4 months, and then it'll take you more time to analyze, and you waste time in your PSW. So time is key. I would also share with your audience that LinkedIn is super important. I've seen a lot of people, they want to apply for jobs, but they have got no LinkedIn profile, or they have got a LinkedIn profile with no photo. That's never going to work. If a recruiter is coming up across your profile, first of all, if you have no photo and no details, it's not going to be even ranked in front of the recruiter. So work a lot on LinkedIn. I've made a few videos on my Instagram channel on how you can update your LinkedIn, put right pictures. So focus on that. Research is key. If you don't spend time, that's what I think the most important thing would be out of all of this is research. If you're not spending time researching what job you're going to apply for, what skills the employers are asking for. If you don't spend time reading job description, you would be lost completely. You would be disconnected from what employers want and what you have. Some people, they just think just because I've got a degree, I should get a job. No, because they don't care about the degree that much. When you go for interviews, they might not even ask you what you have studied. They just see your work experience, your skills, and if you've got something to talk about, like your skills, that's what they care about.
I think you touched upon very important point actually. I did mention a lot of times in my videos as well. I hire people. I don't look at the university, what university you went for or what did you study. Whether you studied in India or you studied in the UK really doesn't matter. It's the experience that you have mentioned regarding the job that you applied for. And if you have relevant experience for the job you applied for, that is what matters in the UK. And of course, if you have the right certificate or the industry specific for the job you applied, your chances really goes up. So I think you touched upon a very important point, and I hope people will learn from it. I forgot to ask you something. I know you had given importance to time. You said, you should do at the right time, right things. Did you manage to do any part-time job while you were studying, or you did not spend any time doing part-time? You were focused completely on researching and applying for the jobs?
Oh, that's a great question. I did do part-time jobs, but in my case was really unique because I worked as a freelancer while I was a student. I am a professional video editor as well. So I edit videos for businesses, and that's what I used to do when I was studying. And I did part-time jobs sometimes, but I didn't do a lot of part-time jobs. So that's why I had a lot of time to focus on, researching and doing the hard work that people don't have time to do, the research part. Watching a lot of videos on YouTube. I think YouTube is such an amazing place. That's how I was able to manage that. But I think even with part-time jobs, I did part-time jobs for 3-4 months in the beginning, and I still had a lot of time.
Okay, so thank you very much for all the information and experience that you have shared with my audience. I hope this is going to help at least few of them. Before we wrap up this video, just wanted to ask if anybody wants to connect with you, how do they connect?
I am on Instagram. I'm really active on Instagram. If you are an international student or you're looking for a job in the UK, do follow my Instagram channel. It's arkajit_b. I do make videos that might help you, in your journey. So feel free to connect me on Instagram and LinkedIn. They will all find the details on my LinkedIn bio.
Thank you very much for thank you and coming and sharing your journey, and all the best to you, and congratulations once again.
Thank you so much. It was so nice talking to you.
Thank you.